Yo, yo, yo. Yo, what's good? What's good? All right. This is about to be a kind of conscious, a little bit of conscious, a little bit of woke, mostly like a knowledge type video, like the woke YouTube people, my brothers, the woke YouTube brothers, they against cigarettes and shit, this shit organic. But not really organic. Organic might be fake too. But this ain't no Newport or nothing. Oh, that's crazy. As soon as I start, the rain stopped. Alright, so Pledge of Allegiance. From pre-K to 12th grade, you have to pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Pledge allegiance. Pre-K to 12th grade, you have to pledge allegiance every day. And if you don't, all the white teachers get mad as hell. The white teachers, they be so uptight and bold, like they didn't help, like their ancestors ain't steal this land. But pledge allegiance. I just looked this up, so hopefully I still remember. The definition of pledge is to commit, to promise, or a mortgage. That's the definition of pledge. And allegiance is loyalty. Allegiance is loyalty to a superior. Or, what's the other word? Loyalty to a superior or a cause or a group. So when you pledge allegiance to the flag, your whole childhood, you're basically promising or you are committing to a superior or a cause. But they don't tell you what the cause is. They don't tell you that. They don't tell you what the cause is. Because America is basically a business. There's a whole conspiracy on social security number, birth certificate, the vaccines they give the babies, car driving by. So you're basically promising or committing to a superior or a group or a cause. And the word pledge could also mean a mortgage. And what do you do when you buy a house? You pay mortgage. The bank gives you a loan so that You could live in a house and you pay monthly instead of upfront. So you are in debt to the banks for about 30 years. So of course you have to work a job for 30 years until you retire. You know, think about the movie Fight Club. What was that quote from Fight Club? Everybody thinks they're gonna be movie stars and rock stars, but we all won't. What was the rest of that quote? Hold up. I haven't heard the quote in a while. My memory is not the best. We all think we're gonna be movie stars and rock stars, but we won't. We're out here waiting tables, clocking in, working at a warehouse, putting shit in cardboard boxes, putting it in the truck. We have no purpose, no real goal, no real purpose, no real duty. Our duty as Americans is to get the money so we could pay the bill and save the rest for retirement. We really work to prepare for old age, but what do we do in the present? In the present, we work and work and work until we're like 65 years old. And by that age, we're almost too old to really, we are too old to really do what we want to do in life. You know, the movie Fight Club, that's some real shit. Organic cigarettes. Hopefully this ain't no Civet Cat Absolute. Alright. I was trying to make a video about how the government, the church, and the corporations, the government, the church, and the corporations all work together. Notice what I said earlier. One nation under God. With liberty and justice for all. Now, I thought the Constitution said that we're supposed to separate church and state. But we got the whole American youth, you know, saying we're under God. This is public school. And we all like, that's the thing about religion. It's almost like we all have the same God and a different God at the same time. It depends what you read or how you pray. One nation under God. I remember in high school, I tried to say I can't do the pledge. I tried to come up with an excuse. I can't do the pledge. I'm an atheist. And the pledge says I'm under God. And we're supposed to separate church and state. Like I tried to come up with an excuse. And you know, the white male teachers were like, you still gotta do it. Think about all the soldiers that died for your country or our country. First of all, that's not my fault because I didn't tell them niggas to go to war. And second of all, what about all the black men that died for trying to bring black people together? White men don't care about that shit. But that's basically an example of how all three, government, corporation, and church, all work together. Because they got the whole American youth saying under God, even though some are Muslim, some are Jewish, some are Catholic, some are Hindu, but we all say the same pledge. Like some fucking, I was about to say robots, more or less. So that's one example. Another example, every 4 years, we get a new president. And what does the president swear on? The Holy Bible. Another example. Oh, there's a spider. Look at that shit. Can you see that shit? Yeah, look at that shit. Every 4 years, the president swears on the Holy Bible. The government, the president, one of the main people in charge of the government, of the country, has to swear on the Holy Bible. That's 2 examples. Third example. Fuck, what was my third example? Oh yeah, the money. The American dollar. If you look at the American dollar, it says, "In God we trust." A fourth example, how all three work together. America has private prisons. In a private prison, like prisons back in the day, used to be ran by the government. You would get arrested by police who originated from the slave catchers, slave watchers, and then they turn into police. Back in the day. Well, yeah, that was way back in the day with the slave catchers. But after that, prisons were ran by the government. You would be arrested by the police, go to court in front of a fair jury, and then go to prison. But now we have private prisons. Now we have private prisons. Where basically prison is now a business. You could either buy stock of a prison if you're wealthy, or you could own a prison if you're wealthy. Like if I was a billionaire or a multi-millionaire, I could own my own prison. And I can make a profit off that prison because prisoners have to work for free. Like that documentary, The 13th Amendment. slavery is illegal, or free labor is illegal, unless you're a prisoner. You know, your labor is free to pay off for your crime. You work for free to pay off your crime, and you do time to, you know, you do, like, you have a, what's that called? I don't know if it's called a bond or bail or a fine. You either pay for your crime, money, or you do time, which includes labor for your crime. So a business could basically, or a businessman, or a group of businessmen could own a prison and make a profit off of criminals. And to continue with that example, the record labels, the music labels started releasing gangsta rap, which is basically lyrics and instrumentals promoting crime, like NWA, like Griselda, like maybe even 50 Cent, or who else? Maybe even Pop Smoke, you know. Get this bug out my face. You know, I listen to a lot of lyrical rap, so I don't have a lot of examples in my head. Maybe even Freddie Gibbs. Like, there's a bunch of examples. Or 2 Live Crew. But 2 Live Crew promoted, like, you know, sexual music. And NWA promoted gangsta music. Basically, these record labels started signing people that would promote drug sales, illegal drug sales, and gun violence and gang violence. Like, we have Lil Wayne, who says he's a Blood. We have Snoop Dogg, who says he's a Crip. We have Pop Smoke, who says he's Woo. Woo. Oh yeah, don't forget about drill and trap. Chief Keef, Lil Durk, Rondo Number 9, 300, 600. It's 3 a.m., so I'm talking a little slow and fatigued right now. But if you know, you know. Like, I'm basically saying what a lot of people like me know, but just not a large amount of detail. Like, it's not like there's an article in front of my face. And yeah, so church and state is together, but the Constitution says it's supposed to be separated. And the state and corporations is together, with the example of private prisons. Another example you might disagree with is how religion is actually profitable. That's why they sell Christian albums. That's why they sell Madea movies where they talk about Jesus in a bunch of Madea movies or the Bible or whatever in the plays. Like Christian women will watch Madea all because they mention Bible verses. Like there was that one Madea joke where Madea said, "It's a sin for a woman to make coffee." And the other woman said, "How is it a sin for a woman to make coffee?" And Madea said, "The Bible says Hebrews." So basically, religion is profitable. They sell Christian albums, Kirk Franklin, Mary Mary. These are record labels that want the Christian dollar. Fucking Kirk Franklin. There was that video or picture of Kirk Franklin. His face was hella shiny. It was either sweat or it could have been sweat, but it was like glossy, like Vaseline or some shit. Like he Vaseline his face and his mouth and shit. That nigga was glossy. Like some niggas say that's suspect. It's like, it could be suspect, I don't know. Cause it could just be sweat. Or it could be the fucking makeup artist Vaseline that nigga up. My question is, look at the earth. Have y'all really, I don't know if you see that tree. But have y'all really looked at the earth? Like the earth gives us all this food, all this water, all this air, all this wood to build shelter, all these horses so we can take a ride for miles. Like the earth gives us everything we need for free. But we go to the store to buy water bottles, or we pay the water bill. You can't even take a shower without paying for that shit. Nigga, I can make my own bar of soap, take a bath in the ocean or the lake. But basically, the earth gives us everything for free. But we give the church money. We pay for Bibles and Qurans. Like George Carlin said, God is all loving, all powerful, the most amazing, the creator. And then George Carlin said, but for some reason, God don't have money. And a lot of religious people don't have money either. You know, they have jobs, but their money goes to the bills. It don't go into their business. It goes to their bills. Like my mother told me all the time. My mother always tells me, I went to school for business. I went to college for business. She's 60 years old, never started a business. But she always talking about she has a degree for business. She'd rather have a piece of paper. Than a building with her name on it. Oh, I have a degree for business. Do you have a business? No. I'm retired. I worked for 30, 40 years. I'm taking a break from working. So you work for 30, 40 years, graduated school for business and don't have a business. We pay for Bibles and Qurans. We give the church money every Sunday. They pass around the plate. Religion is a business. I just saw a video where I think the guy's name is Eddie Long or something. And there's books on this, and yeah, there's books on this. I saw it on Amazon and eBay and all that. There's books and websites or articles, whatever research you want to do, basically exposing the Vatican. You know, exposing the Vatican. Where, oh man, it's kind of 3 a.m. I don't know if I should get into this conspiracy. But if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. Like, at the Vatican, I'm going to say this without saying too much. You know, because it's 3 a.m. When you look at the Vatican, they have a whole art statue, like a statue, a big ass statue made by an artist. It's supposed to represent the resurrection of Christ. But that's not Christ, yo. That's not Christ at the Vatican. Look at it, bro. That's not Christ. That's not Jesus. Because Christ and Jesus are two different things. Jesus is a man. Christ is a title. People will say Jesus Christ, but Christ is not his last name. His name is only Jesus or Yeshua. Christ is a title. For example, King James Version, King James Bible. King is not his name. It's a title. Christ is a title. Notice how the Vatican says that's the resurrection of Christ, not the resurrection of Jesus. They choose their words carefully. That's not Jesus, yo, at the Vatican. And in that other room of the Vatican, if you look at it if you stand at the beginning or the entrance of a specific room, the entire room is a serpent. Like the entire room is a serpent. The walkway, the runway, or the walkway is the tongue. The two windows is the eyes. The stage is the mouth with two fangs. It's the serpent. The New Testament was originally written in Greek. Everything I'm saying, Google that shit. Everything I'm saying, Google that shit. The Old Testament was written in Hebrew. The New Testament was written in Greek. So if you a black man or an African man, that's the thing. We call ourselves black. We call ourselves African. We are really Aborigines. That's our true title. Because the word Africa, African, that comes from a European man named Africanus. The word black is a color. We're not even really black. Like, look at my skin. It's brown. My skin is light brown. Like, this is black. This is black. African people don't really have this color. The rain's starting. We are really Aborigines. So if you an Aboriginal What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the Old Testament was written in Hebrew. The New Testament was written in Greek. So if you're an Aboriginal, are you really gonna listen to a Greek man? These are the same people that used to worship Zeus and Poseidon and Hades and all that. You really gonna believe a Greek man or Greek men about who your God is? The same people that enslaved you? The slave and the master can't have the same God. This is why I look into ancient Egypt. I look into Horus, Osiris, Set, Isis, Ma'at, Anubis. Because as an Aboriginal, I try to look into, as an Aboriginal, I try to look into what's my real afterlife. Like, what's my real history and what's my real afterlife. Because, like, really, I'm bronze. I'm brown, I'm bronze. The Greek people, the ancient Greeks, wrote in the Holy Bible that Jesus had skin of bronze, eyes of fire, hair of wool. So, what am I trying to say? So, the Greeks said that about Jesus. But every time you go into a white Catholic church, you see a white man on the artistic windows, the glass, the multicolored windows. You see a white man. You see a statue of a man on the cross. He's white. They don't even follow their own Bibles. If you ask most Christians, hey, have you read the entire Bible? Most of them say no. Or a large amount of them say no. They've been going to church for 50 years. You ask them, hey, have you read the Bible front cover to back cover? They say no. They read bits and pieces. They read this verse on page 50 and this verse on page 300. They learn what the bishop teaches them. People don't teach themselves. Even with the internet, people don't teach themselves. They either need a teacher or a bishop, or they need a supervisor or a manager, or they need a professor. We have the internet, bruh. We have libraries. We have bookstores. We have everything we need to teach ourselves. Like, I know people who say, oh, I was raised on the Bible. I was raised on this and that. It's almost like people think everything their parent teaches them is correct. Like, nobody questions anything. Like, your parent was struggling. A lot of black parents were struggling. They were either on the alcohol, on the weed, on the cigarette, on the coke, on the crack, or, they was lower class, they was middle class, their bills were behind. They didn't have money for them Jordans. They didn't have money for that PS5 or that Xbox. They didn't have money for that bike or that skateboard. Every time they bought a house, it involved a mortgage. Every time they bought a car, they used a car loan. People think everything their parent teaches them is straight up facts. They don't question nothing. They don't research nothing. I was raised on the Bible. You ain't even read the whole thing. I know I ain't read the whole thing. So maybe I'm a hypocrite. Maybe I should read the whole thing. But every time, you know why I don't read the whole thing? At least right now. Because I'll have conversations with Christians. And then the Christian friend will get a story wrong or a verse wrong. And then me, being a more ancient Egypt type person, I'll be like, no, the Bible actually says this. And the friend will say, no, that's not what the Bible says. And then I'll Google the verse. And then I'll say, for example, Mark 30:50 or Matthew 20:14. What's that other book? Exodus 24:10. I'll bring up a specific verse on Google, because Google has the King James Version for free. You just need internet. And I'll say the verse word for word. Like, so-and-so said this to so-and-so. Like, basically what happened was, I had a couple Christian friends who said Jesus told Noah to build the ark. And I said, no, God told Noah to build the ark. And the two homies said, no, it was Jesus. Jesus told Noah to build the ark. And then I said, that makes no sense, because Noah was the Old Testament and Jesus was the New Testament. How does somebody from the future go to the past to tell them some shit, then go back to the future? I really doubt Jesus had a time machine. I really doubt that shit. Noah was the Old Testament. Jesus was the New Testament. And then I went on Google, King James Version. I said the verse word for word. God told Noah built the ark. God told Noah XYZ. And then they said, oh, I never knew that. I never knew that's what happened. And I'm like, yo, you're the Christian. You should know this. You're the Christian. How am I the one trying to figure out how Horus and Osiris works and Ma'at? How am I, and Isis, how am I the one not even believing in Jesus, but I know more about Jesus than you? You want to know why? Because every time they hit me up, yo, I'm on PS4. Yo, get on PS4. I'm like, damn, nigga. Don't y'all have something else to do besides PS4? Like today I went to 2 job interviews. And then when I got home, I watched the NBA Finals Game 4 and then produced a beat for 2 hours. I'm at that point of maturity where I'm basically like, if it's not giving me money or bitches, then it's irrelevant. And the third option is, if it's not expressing my creativity or my skill, my talent, my artistic side, whatever. Because I produced a beat for 2 hours. I don't even want to sell this shit. I don't even want to sell the beat. I like it too much. I want to use the beat for myself. I don't really make beats to sell. I make beats that I like. I mean, all because I sell a beat doesn't mean I don't like it. That just means I'm not going to use it. So making beats and rap songs and shit, that's not instant money like a career. It's not like I make beats. It's not like I make beats 5 days in a row and then get paid next week. 5 days in a row, get paid next week like a job. So if it's not giving me money, if it's not giving me bitches or women to show respect, and third, if it's not expressing my creativity, like drawing or writing or rapping, producing, then it's irrelevant, bruh. If it's not helping me and my family, it's irrelevant. I should upload that other live I did on Instagram where I was talking about the whole conspiracy of Maria Abramovich and Julia Fox or whatever. I don't know if I said their names correct. I should upload that other live to YouTube. Alright, ET Ultra, White Lighter, number 2747, 17, 2747. All three numbers have a meaning. ET Ultra, White Lighter, signing out. Shout out my nigga. Oh, I can't shout out no niggas because there's some controversial shit right here. Alright, peace.